Good morning, everybody. Not so crazy lady here. Can't make saying out of crazy. Rumpkin News Raw. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think. You know, because YouTube pissed me off one day. Okay, when they terminated my first channel. Rumpkin News Raw. Alright. Mother who beat children, shaved their heads for eating ice cream, facing new charges. What is going on in East Idaho? What is going on in Idaho? Nampa. A Nampa mother who beat her children and shaved the heads of her daughters for eating ice cream, was arrested on felony domestic battery charge Wednesday. Priscilla Zapata, 27, was taken into custody after allegedly headbutting and trying to punch her boyfriend after he wouldn't tell her who he was talking to on the phone, according to the Idaho Press Tribune. The victim reportedly had open cuts, blood on his lips, and nail marks on his wrists. Zapata was on probation for felony injury to a child charge for crimes she committed against her children last year. Related. Mother sentenced to jail after beating children, shaving daughters' heads for eating tub of ice cream. She was arrested last October after Canyon County Sheriff investigators discovered she had physically and emotionally abused her children when they ate a tub of ice cream. According to the detectives, the 4 children, ranging in the age from 3 to 9, were beaten several times with a wet belt, and the youngest kid was hit with a toy during the August incident. Zapata also shaved the heads of her 2 daughters, who were 9 and 10 at the time. Judge George A. Southworth sentenced Zapata for 2 years fixed, followed by the 3 years indeterminate for a total unified, I'm so angry right now, sentence of 5 years in prison. She only got 5 years. Southworth suspended the prison sentence in lieu of the felony probation and 30 days in the county jail. Zapata was booked into the Canyon County Jail on $50,000 bond for a probation violation. She is scheduled to appear in court October 18th. This is the problem with fucking judges. Feeling sorry for crazy bitches. Anybody that would torture their kids like that for eating ice cream, a whack on the ass, and no dessert for a week is usually how normal people would have handled that. Oh no, not crazy bitches. And people want to call me crazy? Fuck. So it's the same story here. But I want to see the press paper. You fat, demon-possessed sack of sad female bullshit. You're a fucking... Look how close set her eyes are. That's usually how you can tell there's something wrong with the IQ level. Okay? First clue. Second clue. All her freaking gang tattoos. Wonder if she's, in the country illegally. Because if she is an immigrant in quotation marks, her ass should be deported. So it doesn't say anything about where the children are. But let's get into this story. According to Zapata, 3 of her children were inside the vehicle when the dispute happened, the affidavit states. Zapata was serving felony probation for 4 years on time at the time Wednesday's arrest. She got her fucking kids back? they never took her kids? I wonder how many times they got beat because she went to jail and is now on probation. Wow. The victim, identified as Zapata's boyfriend, told a responding officer from the Nampa Police Department that Zapata became upset with him when he wouldn't tell her who he was talking to on the phone. Zapata attempted to grab his phone and at some points grabbed a hold of him by his sweatshirt and headbutted him with her forehead. I wonder why you're stupid. She reportedly tried to punch him as he made his way toward his vehicle, and he got inside his vehicle, according to the affidavit. At one point, the victim said she pushed Zapata up against the fence to get her to stop punching him. He said he grabbed her hands as he was getting into his vehicles to get her to stop hitting him, the affidavit said. The victim's injuries included open cuts and blood on his lips, nail marks on the top of his wrists, according to the affidavit. According to Zapata, 3 of her children were inside the vehicle when the dispute happened, the affidavit states. She was on felony probation for 4 years at the time of Wednesday's arrest. She served 1 month in the Canyon County Jail before being placed on probation for a felony injury to child charge. Zapata was initially charged with 4 felony charges of injury to a child on October 17, but pleaded guilty to 1 felony charge in February. A Canyon County Sheriff's investigation found Zapata had physically and emotionally abused her children after getting angry with them for eating a tub of ice cream. She beat her 4 children, all under the age of 9, several times with a wet belt and hit the youngest child with a toy. I hope they lock her ass up and throw away the fucking key, because she is not done. It's going to be his fault she went to jail. It's going to be their fault because she violated her probation for beating them. I don't know what's going on with women today, but you're turning into the most disgusting, violent pieces of shit I have ever seen in my entire lifetime. Usually, children could run to you for protection. Now, they got nobody to run to. They don't trust anybody. This used to be something that happened either right after World War II, right after Vietnam and Korea, because you had broken men who look at their children and go, I had to go to fucking war and kill people, and you're running around the yard clueless. Not that it's the child's fault, but that's usually the answer I would get as to why fathers would get mad at their kids. For example, my significant other's father, who served in World War II, had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 ships shot out from underneath him. He was adrift at sea for 6 weeks before they found him. The guy worked in a factory after he came home, serving his country. Broken. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually scarred. He was a good father, but he was a very violent father. And the reason why was because he was in pain. And people in pain, wounded animals, lash out at other people. I don't know what happened to this chick, but you gotta stop the cycle somewhere, don't you? That man has never laid a hand on me. Unless it was to stop me from being a frickin' nut. That's why I talk about this shit. Because first you get hit, then you hit back, then you hit first. I would never go after a child, but I'd sure as hell go after you if you gave me shit. Today I'm a little more reserved, a little more refined. I have a lot more control over myself these days. And I don't usually walk around with, 3 padlocks on the end of a rope. Just in case I fucking needed it. That's the way this works. And until we start talking about what's going on with women, real women, not women that had a wee-wee and want to be us, but real biological fucking women. All 4 of these kids are going to grow up so scarred, it'll be amazing if none of them end up in jail. Violence begets violence. And resentments, perpetrate more resentments. We have got to figure out a way collectively as females to shrug off this whole imaginary frigging, persona they put on us. The sex kitten, the angry bitch. All of those things. They want to turn us into that, and then they want to mock us for it. That's all right. Let them play their games. Because we are better than that, aren't we? We're better than backhanding a human being that's so small and so little that you could break their little bones. If you got an anger issue, go out and throw rocks at the fucking, at a wall or something. Go break bottles and listen to the sound of breaking glass. It helps. Keep your hands off your fucking kids.